let's jump right into it, get to some golf here on the heels of an entertaining, I guess kind of entertaining Masters tournament, but a great showing out of Hideki Matsuyama, who of course is the winner, the recipient of his first green jacket, the first male Japanese player to win a Masters tournament as well. So very exciting. Let's bring in Geoff, Ulrich, and Reid T. Fowler. Fellas, how are you?
Fantastic.
Good. Yeah, good.
Always happy to hear it. I really am going to have to just isolate you guys in order to get you to respond.
Well, Kauf, a little pro tip. If you're going to ask a question, direct it to someone.
That was a very general, how are you, to both of you. I believe
your first rodeo.
The questions are absolutely going to get tougher as we go forward here. Reid, let's stay with you. Let's go to the RBC Heritage because, as we know, that is what is coming here. Matsuyama is not taking place. This out at Hilton Head, South Carolina here. We're going to look at the PGA pin placement and the finishing positions, at least what you estimate is going to be the case for a lot of the guys. Pretty stacked field taking place. So again, Reid, we're going to begin with you, sir. Let's talk about DJ, Dustin Johnson. How do you feel about him in this one?
Yeah, I mean, DJ's always an enigma when it's at these tournaments, right? This is a sponsor of his, so he's not forced to be here. But I would argue that if he had his choice, even though he had an early departure at the Masters, that he probably would be taking this week off. Now, having said that, he's done well here. He's won this tournament before, and so we know a guy of his caliber can win anywhere. It would be silly to project the #1 golfer in the world outside of a top 10, top 15, because we know that's his upside. Having said that, like you mentioned, Geoff, this is a field that's stronger than most, right? Especially after a Masters, especially after a major. So I'm going to say that he probably gets inside the top 15. I know that's kind of an easy way out, but I would not be surprised if we see DJ do one of his other things as well, where he just does not care. And he does what he did over the fall last year, where he goes back to back, like shooting 80s. And then the next week that he comes out, he wins. So I'm going to say top 15, but would not be surprised if he's got an early departure again.
So, Geoff, I guess which way are we going? Are we going to get a top 15 out of DJ or a totally ambivalent performance?
I mean, it's an interesting spot, right? He's coming off a missed cut. He did go off in the Sunday final group here like a couple of years ago. He absolutely blew up after doing so. So he didn't get it done. But I mean, he's had a little bit of success around here. T17 last year. He's had 2 top 20s at this event. So it's not the greatest setup for him, but at the same time, like, he's proven he can just, sort of bunt himself around this venue and get hot with his irons a little bit. I'm going to say he probably makes the cut, but again, we're probably talking like a top 30 here. I think Dustin will come alive here mid-season as we get closer to the US Open, but this is probably just a week where he's going to be just trying to sharpen his game a little bit because he's going through a tiny bit of a slump for him right now.
So, Geoff, what are your expectations then for Patrick Cantlay?
I think Cantlay is more of a line of someone who could bounce back in a big way. Quite frankly, he's coming off an embarrassing Masters. I mean, it was completely embarrassing. Embarrassing for me, considering he was basically one of my favorite picks for the week. But I mean, look, you look at this player long term over the course of the start of the year. He's been one of the best tee to green. Like, I mean, there's no reason for him to do what he did last week. Even at the match play, he was lighting it up tee to green. So I expect Patrick Cantlay to come back here and bounce back in a big way. He's never finished worse than T7 here over the last 5 years in 3 appearances. I think Cantlay is a proud guy. I think he knows that he choked last week. And I think that in all likelihood, you come back, you see a very good ball striking performance, and he probably puts in a top 10. So I got him pegged for a top 10 this week.
Reid, you going to go kind of where you did in the last one, top 15, or are you as confident in Cantlay?
Yeah, so what's interesting about him is that, like, he's like at P-type courses, if you look at just strokes gained total, he's fantastic, right? Like, he's fantastic, but yet when you look at the courses that we have, it doesn't really fit where Cantlay has won. And that's the one thing that kind of, confuses me a little bit. Look, like Geoff mentioned, he lost 3 strokes with his irons in the first 2 days, and also just under 4, I believe, with his putter. So nothing was going right for Answer. But when you get these guys who are top 10 in the world, top 15, these guys can bounce back very easily. They have short memories. And he's someone that, maybe not Xander. Maybe Xander might not have a short memory, but, he's someone that could easily do well here. Having said that, I like some other guys they're going to be in his range. Potentially in DraftKings and when the odds come out, like that's the stuff that I'm looking at potentially and fading Patrick Cantlay, because I think a lot of people are in Geoff's camp. that are going to say that he's going to do well. So I got him outside of top 20.
For those thinking DFS and wanting to jump in, make a lineup a little bit later on today for, of course, the RBC Heritage, you'll be able to reserve a lineup, so not to worry. That's coming for you in the DK lobby. But guys in that similar range, Reid, could potentially Webb Simpson be one of those guys for you?
Yeah, here's the interesting thing too, Kauf. Like Webb Simpson is RBC Heritage. He is this course. He's Harbour Town. He's Wyndham at Sedgefield, right? He plays these courses, and what we want is the Webb Simpson archetype, the Kevin Kisner type of player, Wes Bryant, right? These guys that just do well on these courses. Brian Gay comes to mind, Streelman, and Webb Simpson is at the apex of that list. Having said that, his Masters, especially over the weekend, was not great. It was not great. And there's something going on with Webb, whether it be an injury that he's not telling us about. I'm not going to project that at all, but he's kind of in a slump. And again, it's sort of the same argument with DJ, is that we expect these guys to play well on these courses because they have, but guess what? Golf is hard, and it's really hard at the highest level. He's a guy that I'm never going to take outside the top 10 when it's Harbour Town, when it's Heritage, when it's a place like Sedgefield, Sony Open. So I'm going to say top 10, but again, a guy is on a little bit of a slump.
Well, I like the hype train right there, Geoff. I mean, if he is RBC Heritage, what can we expect from him here?
Probably just another, top 10 performance. I mean, Webb didn't play that bad on the weekend. He shot under par on Saturday and Sunday, but Reid is kind of right. Like he's not doesn't seem like he's at the top of his game. His approaches have definitely been a little bit lacking over his last few events. And that with Webb, for a guy who hits it short off the tee, it doesn't matter as much at the RBC Heritage, but you do need your irons to be in good form. I expect, I'd be shocked if he finished outside the top 20 here. This is just such a good track for him. He just eats these courses up. So Webb is a guy who, again, you're making multiple lineups. Like you probably want some exposure. Is he going to be chalky this week? Especially with Bryson now out of the tournament, just thinning out the top a bit. Yeah, he's going to be chalky, but at the same time, he's probably going to play well this week. So I'm kind of a little bit on the same page as Reid here. Like, I don't know if he'd be my pick to win necessarily, but top 15. Yeah. Well, let's peg him down, because realistically, he does that every year here.
No days off for Will Zalatoris, man. He was sensational at the Masters, right back at it here with the RBC Heritage. So, Geoff, what are your expectations for him?
Will Zalatoris is such a talented young player. I mean, you could go through the gamut here. You could say win. You could say, he competes again. I'm going to take the different approach and just suggesting he had such a massive putting week, one of his best putting weeks, kind of as a pro in the majors. The strokes gained tee to green was there, obviously, but this is just a bit of a different course. It's a bit of a different one in the sense that, the off the tee doesn't matter as much here. If you're a little bit off around the greens or a little bit off with the putter, that'll get you. I'm going to say T30 for Will Zalatoris. He's probably going to make the cut. He's probably going to be fine, but I think he does probably regress a little bit this week. So again, if someone just said Will Zalatoris is my pick, I'd say that's fine too. That's how talented a player he is. But I'm going to say, just for the coming off the adrenaline going down a little bit from the Masters, I'm going to say he regressed a little bit and puts in a T30.
You expect something similar, Reid?
Yeah, his last missed cut too, Geoff, was back at the Sanderson Farms on the
he doesn't
PGA
miss
Tour.
cuts.
Yeah, he just does not miss cuts. This guy is automatic when it comes to watching miss the cut. After I say he's automatic, but he's just a great player. And like Geoff mentioned, he's his one Achilles heel, if there is any right now, is this putter. Right? Is if that thing's not working, then it can get bad in a lot of different ways. But here's the thing too, that at the WC concession where he lost 5 strokes putting, he finished 22nd. He can gain it back with his ball striking because it's just elite. And the fact that this guy doesn't have his PGA Tour card yet is unfathomable, because he's got a 6th at the US Open and now he has a runner-up at the Masters. So he's going to be a primetime player. Dickie V shout out, but he's not necessarily someone that I have in my short list of players, because I'm with Geoff here. I think there is going to be a hangover. We rarely see guys, especially when RBC is after Augusta, we rarely see guys go back to back because so much equity, sweat, and mental equity is expended at Augusta and at a major. So I got him as a little bit of a hangover. I say top 30. Wouldn't be surprised if he's outside the top 30.
Reid, where you landing on Paul Casey?
Yeah, he's probably the one that I'm sort of capitulating on a little bit. I think his Sunday was great. Like, he came out early. If you watched him on the features group in the Masters app, you saw that he had a stretch where he had 4 birdies in a row on Sunday. That's what you want leading into this. And Casey's playing some of his best golf of his career right now. Already has a win worldwide. And he's just playing really well. He plays Pete Dye courses very well as well because of what he does, how his game is set up. He gets the ball in the fairway. He's great with his irons. And when that flat stick gets going, he's tough to beat. I got him for a top 5. I think, that's his upside here. I'm not worried about his hangover because he's a veteran and he knows how to, really to expend that energy wisely. Like, he wasn't going to win on Sunday, but he was having fun. I think he does that again here at RBC.
Moose, need your thoughts on Paul Casey, and also, I mean, answer, man. Don't let Reid show you up with capitulate. You can give us one too.
Capitulate. I mean, is that all he's going to bring to this table? Just big words, big fancy words to hide his terrible analysis? No, I'm just kidding. I'm actually pretty much on the exact same page here. Paul Casey has not performed well at the RBC Heritage, but again, this should be a course where he does. I mean, we've seen him do well at other Pete Dye courses. The Amex you could bring up. He was good there this year in his first tournament. He did look good on Sunday. I agree. I mean, Paul Casey's been in good form. Did he get off to a good start at the Masters? No, but everything is going well for him. His short game is clicking well. His putter has even worked well at the start of the year. This course, just the way he hits his approaches and with the way his short game is going right now, it should be a really good setup here. So I think he bounces back as well. I actually have more confidence in Casey bouncing back than Cantlay. So I'm gonna say the same thing. I'm gonna say top 5 for Paul Casey. And I don't have a better word than capitulation. It's Monday morning. Sorry.
Quit showing off, Reid. It's been a pleasure, guys. Until the next time.